Hello everybody, War Wizard here, back with another Mortal Kombat 1 video. So like the title suggests, it's over. Mortal Kombat 1 DLC support is over. I knew it was coming. All the leaks and stuff, them rehashing seasons already. We were barely getting any skins. Not very many teases from Ed Boon or anything. I knew it was coming soon. So today I wanted to go over my final thoughts on Mortal Kombat 1 as a whole. Where the franchise goes from here and stuff like that, and just kind of talk about the whole thing. So first of all, I see Ed Boon specifically getting a ton of hate. Now, don't get me wrong, I know you guys are pissed. I know you guys are mad. Everyone's mad. I'm kind of, even though I knew it was coming, I'm not going to lie, I was still holding on a little bit of hope, so I'm kind of disappointed. But I'm telling you guys right now, Ed Boon and NetherRealm 100% had plans to support this game for years, like he said. I know he wouldn't say, we're going to support this game for years and then not do it unless it was out of his control. I know you guys are upset, but you have to look at reason. Like, it was WB 100%. WB is struggling right now, especially last year. Last year was really bad for them. They have no new games coming out. They said, the CEO himself said, the 3 franchises they're going to focus on are DC, Mortal Kombat, and Game of Thrones. Mortal Kombat makes them a ton of money. Everything they put out, toys, clothing, memorabilia, movies, video games, always makes a lot of money. A new game makes more money than DLC 100%. You have to think, the vast majority of players stop playing fighting games after a couple of weeks to a month. They might come back to check out maybe some of the updates and stuff, but they don't stay that long. So they're not going to sell, even if the DLC is great, they're not going to sell as much DLC as they would a completely brand new game. So WB is 100% forcing them to move on to the next game. I don't think Ed Boon lied to us on purpose. I truly believe him and the rest of the NetherRealm team had plans to keep supporting this game. I guarantee you, if you could talk to Ed Boon one-on-one privately, he would probably tell you his frustrations with working with WB right now, especially the new CEO. I think he came in last year, the year before that or something. That dude's a complete moron. You can just tell the new CEO, they only want money, right? That's why they forced Mortal Kombat 1 to come out early when it wasn't finished. That's why they're forcing them to cut off support now. Maybe they're actually going to give NetherRealm time to completely flesh out the next game. I doubt it, but we'll see. It does suck. I'm not going to lie. It does suck. Because this game, it was getting so much praise. Everybody was loving it lately. The new updates made it good. I mean, the people still bitch about some of the, high tiers and all that. But so many people were finally, giving MK1 its props. It was getting lots of love. It was in the top 10 most played games just like 2 months ago. It was in the top 15 most downloaded games last month. Or this month. Maybe it was this month. And, with Street Fighter and Tekken, their fan base is also very unhappy, especially Tekken 8. Mortal Kombat 1, it would have been the perfect time to announce something, maybe some free to play DLC characters, a surprise cameo, announcing that you're no longer going to support this game by releasing the definitive edition was just a slap to the face, honestly. This game is on the cusp. Just like MK11. MK11 was one really good patch away from being a great game, gameplay wise. Same with MK1. Like, it's right there. It's unfortunate. You can tell this game was rushed. There's no rooms. The King of the Hill, this is the least fleshed out King of the Hill has ever been. This is the least fleshed out, the customization has ever been. There was lots of bugs when the game first came out. Game-breaking bugs at that. It's frustrating. I know if it was up to Ed Boon and the rest of the people in NetherRealm, they'd be giving us updates every week. Hey, we're looking into this. Hey, we're doing that. But WB, they don't want NetherRealm to come out and say, hey, we're no longer supporting Mortal Kombat 1. We're focusing on the next game. Because then nobody's going to be buying MK1 anymore or the Definitive Edition anymore. So that's why they're not going to... WB doesn't want them to come out and flat out say it. Now, there is one thing I have a bone to pick with Ed Boon. He tweeted, what was it, 2 weeks ago? What do you guys want to see? Who needs love? Who needs nerfs? Who needs buffs? What kind of stuff do you want to see coming to Mortal Kombat 1 specifically? Everybody was giving this feedback. Now, that gives me a reason to believe that maybe we're going to get at least one more big patch, maybe after Combo Breaker or something like that. But if we don't get another patch, Ed Boon had to have known, right, at that time, only 2 weeks ago, that they weren't going to support Mortal Kombat 1 anymore. Or maybe he didn't know. Maybe WB dropped it on him at the last second, said, hey, no more resources on Mortal Kombat 1. We want you fully focused on the next game. We're going to launch the Definitive Edition. That's it. So they gave us that rushed out hotfix patch, was it yesterday? So, I mean, like I said, if he did know and he tweeted that out, that would be messed up. I'm not gonna lie, that's fucked up. But if he didn't know, or maybe we're still gonna get one last good big patch. I do not believe that we are getting any more DLC at all. If we do, it would be like some sort of surprise cameo like Madame Bo. Like, I can see... I know it was probably an April Fool's prank when he tweeted that picture of the Sonya and Night Wolf actors. Maybe we get like a Night Wolf cameo or something as a surprise, but it's going to be free for everybody because they cannot release more DLC after calling this the definitive edition, right? Like, this is the definitive edition. So charging people more money for more characters is just probably... There's a less than 1% chance of that happening right now. There's no Combat Pack 3. At best, we might get one last patch. Now, like I said, I get you guys are pissed. I'm pissed. But it's not all Ed Boon's fault. It's really not. You guys know he loves Mortal Kombat. This is his creation, right? He doesn't want to piss the fans off. He probably knows what WB is doing is bad, right? It makes the developers look bad. It makes Mortal Kombat look bad. It makes Ed Boon look bad. And developers have been doing that for so long. Look at EA. They will force developers to rush a game out. Like, let's say Dragon Age the Veilguard, or oh my gosh, Mass Effect Andromeda, I think it was. They make them rush it out. It's a crappy game, and then the publishers like EA, WB, whatever, they blame it all on the devs. They don't take any blame, and then they start firing people, laying people off. Well, this game sucked, blah blah blah, and it's like you guys forced them to release the game unfinished. It just makes everything look bad. So there's that. I just so many people online are hateful and they're going to spread hate towards everybody. Death threats and all that shit is so ridiculous. Like, it's a video game. Come on, guys. I know it sucks. Mortal Kombat is my passion. I love this video game franchise. I grew up with it. It's my all-time favorite video game franchise. But sending people death threats and blaming one certain person and saying, oh, Mortal Kombat's dead. Mortal Kombat's not dead. The game is definitely not that bad. If it's not for you, fine. But the game still sold pretty well. It's still up in the air of how much the DLC sold. Maybe not the best, but I guarantee you it sold pretty well. Anyway, my personal thoughts on Mortal Kombat 1. I love the gameplay. The gameplay, in my opinion, is miles ahead of Mortal Kombat 11. I hated Mortal Kombat 11's slow-paced gameplay. I hated that most big damage came from situational crushing blows that you can only use once per round. They had, I went over it in why I didn't like Mortal Kombat 11 video. Just so many hand-holding mechanics, so many defensive options to wake up, which was ridiculous. There was like 7 or 8 viable ways to wake up, which means the main reason for offense was you had to back up and wait to see what they were going to do and try to counter that. It was just very annoying. I was not a fan of Mortal Kombat 11's gameplay. Mortal Kombat 1's gameplay is far superior. A lot of people don't like cameos because they don't want to take the time to learn a cameo. They don't. They want to pick their fighter. That's it. Most people, I would say 90% of Mortal Kombat players, maybe 80% or something like that. But it's very, very high percentage of Mortal Kombat players, not just Mortal Kombat, any fighting game. They are going to learn one single character. That's all they're going to play. And they'll barely even master that character, They'll still do unsafe things. They don't know the optimal combos. So you add a cameo on top of that, it's going to make it harder for them to get into the game. So people hated it right off the bat as soon as they announced cameos. People started warming up to it, getting used to it and stuff, but in my opinion, Mortal Kombat 1's gameplay, the creativity, like, let's take, you take Scorpion, for example, and then you choose Farah cameo, Jax cameo, Madame Bo cameo, Motaro cameo. All those cameos make Scorpion play differently. So there's creativity right there. Almost every single character in this game, the cameos make that character, like, you come up with more ways to play. You know what I mean? Mortal Kombat 11, everyone played the exact same. Every Scorpion player played the exact same. Every good Scorpion player, I should say. Actually, it's funny because every bad Scorpion player played the exact same also. But anyway, every Sub-Zero played the exact same. Every Fujin played the exact same. Every Jax played the exact same. Every Liu Kang played the exact same. Because it was this whole meta around there was only a few viable moves once they made custom variations. Before that, everybody stuck to one variation, the strongest variation with the strongest moves. So everybody played the exact same. Mortal Kombat 11 forced you to play the exact same. In this game, you had more creative freedom. You can pick a different cameo that completely changes combos. You can do throw combos now, or you can zone better. You can anti-zone better. The cameos just gave so much variety. I also liked the return of bigger, flashier, more high damaging combos that actually took skill instead of just hitting a crushing blow. That was one button, and that's how you got your damage in Mortal Kombat 11. I much prefer the combos like MKX, MK9, MK1. They're just more satisfying to pull off a big combo that you yourself are doing, not some cutscene crushing blow that does all the damage for you. I hated that mechanic. Um, the gameplay in Mortal Kombat 1, I loved it. I did. I liked the cameos. I liked the idea. Now, talk about some of the things I didn't like. Oh, another thing I liked that Mortal Kombat brought back is stages. Stages in this game. I said it from MKX to MK11. MK11 did get a little better, but MKX. So you look at MK9, right? Mortal Kombat 9 or Mortal Kombat 2011, whatever you guys want to call it. Their stages were gorgeous. There was stuff going on in the background. It was very interesting. The stages like told a story, right? Every stage looked great in MK9. MKX for some reason just had ugly browns and grays. Nothing really going on in the background levels. Like the levels in MKX were a massive step down from MK9's. Massive step down. Then MK11, they brought back the brighter colors, but there was still some stuff missing, especially music wise. The stage music in this game. And they added variations to these stages, and they look amazing. They look fantastic. The stages in this game. You do Tarkant Colony, for example. There's stuff going on in the background. There's people walking around and stuff. And the music is just, it makes you feel like you're at this place. You know what I mean? Like the stage music, if you listen. It just feels like you're in this place. Kind of Middle Eastern-y vibe. MK, like I said, MK11 started bringing stuff like that back. But not like MK1's stages look amazing. And they're more they're more lively, they're more colorful, they're more alive. Don't get me wrong, I love the gothic style of classic Mortal Kombat like Mortal Kombat 2, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Mortal Kombat Deception. The gothic, more dark. But Mortal Kombat X's dark wasn't the same. It was ugly dark, like grays and browns. Mortal Kombat 1, that's another thing they did good, was the stages and the music were way better from MKX and MK11. The story mode. At first, I was liking it, but the more I think about it, the more I don't like it. I feel like it started off pretty good, but then turning into the multiverse thing was a huge mistake, a massive mistake. They should have started off as the Great Kung Lao, something like that, or at the very least, no Shang Tsung, no Kronika. Where's the Dragon King? We've been asking for the Dragon King to come back for many years now. It should have been Onaga as the bad guy or something. Something like that would have made everybody be like, oh, okay, all right, that's fine. But the whole multiverse thing, it's like, oh, man. And another thing that I have to gripe about is they're massive trying to sell us on change, right? Oh, it's all the same characters that you know and love, but with a change. Barely. Barely. No one changed. Shang Tsung's still a bad guy. Quan Chi's still a bad guy. Shao Kahn is still a bad guy. You know, uh, Liu Kang is still a good guy. Kung Lao is still a good guy. Raiden is still a good guy. There's barely any changes. Johnny Cage is a good guy. Like, where are these changes that you were talking about? The biggest change was Sindel being the mother of both Kitana and Melina. Katana and Melina actually being sisters, growing up together and stuff. Melina now being the leader of Edenia and all that. That's the biggest change. But even then, Melina is the only one that went through a big change, right? She's a good guy. She's a princess. She's now queen of Edenia or Outworld, whatever. And that's the biggest change. Everything else, like Sub Zero, Bihan, or not Bihan, yeah, Bihan. Bihan Sub Zero, if you remember in Mortal Kombat arcade days, they kind of, briefly mentioned that he was more aggressive than Kuai Liang and he kind of wanted to rule things himself and all that. But so then Bihan is a bad guy, but then Bihan becomes, spoiler alert, if you don't want to be spoiled, if you haven't played this game yet, skip. I'm giving you the chance right now to skip whatever ahead. But anyway, so Bihan is now Noob Saibot. But Bihan is now Noob Saibot, but Kuai Liang is Scorpion. So who the fuck is going to be Sub-Zero now? Why did they make Scorpion Kuai Liang? Why couldn't Scorpion still be Hanzo Hasashi and Bihan be Sub-Zero and then have young Kuai Liang, who's like Kuai Liang, who's their younger brother, but he also has Chiromancer skills. So something like that. They shouldn't even have done this, because now look at this massive plot hole. Like, what are you going to do going forward? It's just, and then let's be honest, Scorpion in this game doesn't feel like Scorpion. Like, Scorpion's thing is just rage. Badass fighting skills, rage, anger. He lacks that in this. He's not full of rage and, like, I don't know. There's just something lacking. I believe Kuai Liang is a way better Sub-Zero than Bihan. Kuai Liang accomplished way more as Sub-Zero than Bihan ever did. Kuai Liang's the better Sub-Zero, in my opinion. He should have been Sub-Zero. It should have been like the Great Kung Lao. Start off from there, from the very beginning. Don't try to change up all these things. And there's so much that they can explore. They keep, Special Forces and Shang Tsung and the Shaolin Monks. That's all they focus on. There's so many cool things that they can do. And then some of the changes that they made to, like, Havoc being Dairu. And then there's no Hotaru. Hotaru is like to Havoc what Scorpion is to Sub-Zero almost. Like, Havoc is pure chaos, Hotaru is pure order. And why did they make Havoc Dairu also? Havoc is Havoc. I mean, I guess they're trying, arcade ladders aren't always canon either. But still, don't even put that in there. He's Havoc. Why are we trying to put a little Easter egg Dairu reference in there? It's just, I don't know. The story could have done well without the multiverse stuff. And if you're going to make changes, make big changes then. Go all in. You know what I mean? Maybe have Scorpion and Sub-Zero still be Kuai Liang and Hanzo Hasashi, but make them bad guys. Maybe make Raiden betray Liu Kang or something, or maybe make Liu Kang the bad guy. Go in on all these changes that you were hyping up when it ended up being almost the exact same story that we've seen a million times. Shang Tsung is a bad guy and stabs people in the back. Again. Quan Chi's a bad guy. Again. Like, come on. You're announcing all these massive changes, but then you don't really have any big, massive changes. It's almost the same thing over and over. Shang Tsung is the big bad guy. Again. Wow, what a shocker, right? Like, come on. It should have been Onaga or something. They could have done so many different things without ruining certain characters and all that. I really didn't like, and then the whole smoke. Some characters, don't get me wrong, are way better than they ever were, like Reptile and Baraka. They were punching bags, but now they have a big part in the story We get some of their backstory. Baraka especially. Baraka was awesome in this game. But some of the other characters, just didn't feel quite right. I didn't like some of the changes. The one thing about Havoc's base form or base costume, base costume, I hated it. I don't know if I can. I think I have to go to customize. I hated it when they first. So Havoc, I don't know if you guys watched. If you haven't watched any of my other videos, Havoc, I've talked about it before, is one of my all-time favorite characters. Can I? It's the helmet, isn't it? But you guys see him on the left right here, right? That like fuckboy haircut off to the side, emo, whatever you want to call it, haircut, doesn't fit Havoc at all. I hate it. I hate it. And but other than that, he's still pretty cool, breaking his own bones, ripping his own limbs off. That's kind of like Deception Havoc. Um, so that's another big gripe I have is the story. They have to go back to a more gritty, grounded story. No more multiverse stuff. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they need to do it. They have to find some way. Maybe Liu Kang, maybe it's like all a vision from Kronika. Like Kronika shows Liu Kang what will happen if he takes the uh, power of time for himself or whatever. And he's like, oh, I can't do that. So then he gives the power of time to the Elder Gods, and he's still the protector of Earthrealm. Something like that. We need a big reset or something. I know we've had resets before, but this time it's an absolute need. Because the way this story's going right now makes no sense. We don't know what's going to happen with Sub-Zero, and you can't... Scorpion and Sub-Zero, you have to face it. They're staples of the game. You have to have them both in there. They're the Ryu and Ken of this game. You can't have a Mortal Kombat game without these two in it, period. They made that mistake in Mortal Kombat 3. Fans were super pissed, so they made Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 where Scorpion was back. They're the two most popular characters. They're the faces of the franchise, and they're the two most played characters. You have to have them in it. So what are you going to do about Sub-Zero since he is now Noob Saibot? And Liu Kang said he's going to fix him, but they're like teasing that like Noob Saibot's going to be like some big bad villain. It makes no sense. That's another thing about Chaos Reigns. Chaos Reigns compared to Aftermath is horrible. It's fucking terrible. And the whole different dimension fucking thing it's so played out, not just in this game, but because of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's so played out. People are tired of it. No more. We need to go back to a more grounded, not realistic, but more grounded approach. There's so much that you can explore. You can explore the reptilian races. You can explore more of Tarkha. You can explore the realm of chaos, the Matoka, so much stuff. A backstory of Shang Tsung. Why is he the way that he is? Another thing I don't like. Raiden in this game doesn't feel like Raiden. When I think of Raiden, I think of extremely powerful god. He has these awesome lightning abilities, but they made him like some young Shaolin monk kid in this game. He just doesn't feel like Raiden. I don't know how to explain it. He doesn't feel like Raiden. I like the way he plays in this game, but his personality, I'm not a fan of. He's like Liu Kang with lightning. So yeah, the story is pretty disappointing in my opinion. It leaves you going like, I don't even know if they know what they're going to do next, because I really don't. Let's talk about character design. So some of the character designs are out of this world awesome. Like Ermac, he's the coolest he's ever been. like gameplay wise, he is so awesome. His moves and stuff, the way they made it, his spirits is his telekinesis. Some of his taunts are really awesome. He's the most fun character in this game by far. This is the most fun he's ever been, in my opinion. He's awesome. Or the way they designed T1000. I know he's a guest character, but his moves are so cool. Him turning into liquid metal and stuff. Sorry, I'm a little sick. Anyway, Johnny Cage in this game feels so swaggy. He feels like Johnny Cage. He's shit talking to you, he's taunting you. He has really swaggy moves, like a cocky, martial arts actor would be like. But then you take Liu Kang, for example, the god of fire, someone who's always known for their swag. He always had some swagger to his martial arts style. He's the most boring character in this game. The most white bread, boring fucking character in this game. He has no cool setups or anything like that. Trying to think of, Sindel. I guess that's decent. Rain. I don't really like the whole water sorcerer thing. It's something different. It's not the worst thing ever. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I don't like Smoke's change at all. He doesn't really feel like Smoke. He feels like a ninja. Smoke is supposed to have powers, not using bombs and all this other stupid ninja tricks. He's supposed to have powers. Um, yeah, Scorpion doesn't really feel like Scorpion to me. Sub Zero doesn't really feel like Sub Zero to me. I mean, I guess he does. I don't know. His personality wise, moveset wise, he feels like Sub Zero. Personality wise, he just doesn't feel like Sub Zero to me. Um, but as far as designs go, a lot of the characters are really cool. Some of the characters aren't very good, in my opinion. So Ghostface and Conan are definitely fit in Mortal Kombat pretty well. But these three right here do not fit Mortal Kombat. I feel like Ed Boon scene or whoever comes up with, the guest characters, they seen that they're violent in their, respected shows or whatever. So they're like, hey, they might be a good fit for Mortal Kombat. But we have two Supermans, basically, in Mortal Kombat, but not Injustice. They're Injustice characters. They belong in Injustice. They just don't fit Mortal Kombat, in my opinion. Ghostface, he fits. He's perfect. Conan, he fits. He's perfect. Even T1000 fits a lot better than these guys. Some of the character designs, or changes are just. Oh, another thing I got to give Mortal Kombat 1 props is bringing back 3D era characters. That was such a big W. We barely see them, and they came back, and they're pretty cool. Asha's pretty cool. Havoc, besides his initial design, his initial costume, he's cool. Natara, Megan Fox kind of ruined it, not gonna lie, but it's still cool to see her back. Or Tanya, that's Natara. Tanya, I've never been the biggest fan, but it's cool that she's back. I'm glad that they gave some love to the 3D era characters, Li Mei, Kenshi. I think Kenshi's pretty cool in this game. Having that stance is one of. I know a lot of people are going to hate it because he was top tier for so long, but Kenshi is one of the coolest characters in any fighting game ever in this game. Having the Sento stance, like puppet thing, is so unique. I wish Mortal Kombat would do more stuff like that. Maybe not puppet stance per se, but like cool setup characters like that. Give characters some swag, like especially characters that are known to be like swaggy and cool, like Liu Kang. You made him the most boring character ever, and he's the god of fire. Why is he so boring? It makes no sense. Another thing that we need to talk about: invasions. Dude, let me tell you. Can I skip this? I can't skip this. Uh, I didn't know it was gonna do this. Um, I'm turning that down a little bit. Anyway, invasions. I'm not a fan of invasions. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't like it very much. It just it's so boring. Invasions just they missed the mark on that one. They made some decisions or some changes that made it slightly better, but I don't know if you guys remember when it first came out, every single opponent had super armor. So every time they did a move or a special move or something, they had armor and it was so annoying to fight against. Some of the mini games are kind of fun, but those are few and far between. It's just fight after fight after fight with just it wasn't great. It wasn't great. Tower times, it's whatever. It's been the same since Mortal Kombat X. I just why can't they should have kept the crypt and then added some fun modes. Where is a conquest mode? People have been asking for that for so long. I feel like they're so focused on trying to make a balanced, really like hardcore fighting game like Street Fighter or something that they're just forgetting that Mortal Kombat was about fun. That's what makes Mortal Kombat Mortal Kombat. People will compete in your game if it's fun to play. Stop focusing so much on, tournaments and making it competitive and blah blah blah. If it's a good game, people are going to play it. Where's our conquest mode? A conquest mode would have been awesome, way better than invasions. Give us some fun mini games. Bring combat cart back and flesh it out a little more. I mean, you can keep your towers if you want, but personally feel like it should be arcade towers and that's it. Maybe some like endurance towers and stuff, but put more resources into fun game modes. Come up with new fun game modes. Bring back the crypt. Um, yeah, that was another thing. Invasions was supposed to be the big single player content after you beat the story, and it just wasn't it. The only time I went through Invasions is if there's a really cool skin that I wanted, or like when they had the rain stage for the tea house, stuff like that. But like, Invasions wasn't it. It really wasn't. It wasn't very fun to play through. Some of the mini games, like I said, were kind of fun, but like, you could have just done that like you did with the Challenge Tower in Mortal Kombat 9. It wasn't it. They should have kept something else, kept the crypt to unlock everything. And that's another thing. Like, the character leveling to get brutalities and stuff was so annoying. It's one of the best things that they've added in MKX and on is brutalities. Brutalities is the most fun, swaggy way to end a match. And they're faster than fatalities, so you don't have to watch it. A super long cutscene like a fatality. So, like, why do we have to go level up these characters to get their brutalities? If I want to learn a character and take them into Combat League and do some brutalities and stuff like that, why are you forcing me to level up the character, which is a very slow progression at that? Especially when the game first came out, oh, the progression was so ridiculous. They need to get rid of that. Bring back the crypt, have us unlock everything in the crypt again, get rid of player levels, get rid of it. DLC characters should have all their brutalities unlocked. I already have to grind all the other characters. Now you want me to grind the paid, characters to get brutalities and stuff like that? No. If you want cosmetics, you do towers, right? If you want brutalities and stuff like that, you go to the crypt. They could have put fun mini games inside the crypt. I just Invasions wasn't it. This weird board game type style just it sucked. I did not like it. Most everybody didn't like it. um Trying to think if there's anything I need to talk about more about this game. So, the balancing, right? Like how the health thing. Everybody needs to have the exact same base health. Don't ever balance people's health in a fighting game ever again. It just sucks. It's weird. It's stupid. It's if to me and a lot of other people it feels like lazy, right? Oh well, he's kind of overpowered, so we're gonna take 50 health away, or we're gonna take 100 health away, like that. No, it's because then some cameos, give more health than others and all this stuff. Balancing around HP is a bad idea. It sucks. And then why are we just letting Havoc, ever since Chaos Reigns come out, just be an absolute overpowered menace? And then on top of that, you have Homelander, whose slap on the wrist nerfs are doing nothing. Homelander Farah is playing a completely different game. At least Cyrax, even though she's OP, takes a little bit of skill with her bomb setups and stuff like that. Homelander, like I said, his combos are really hard, but if you get his combos down, you pair him with Farah, he's just, I don't know, his 50-50 mix-ups, especially off a command grab, is crazy. Havoc still being OP is like, and why aren't we buffing Baraka? More buffs to Lee May, buffing, Shang Tsung. Buff the low tiers that we barely ever see. Why are we? I don't get it, man. The whole health point thing is just weird. Sub-Zero and Reptile getting the most buffs out of everybody. Sub-Zero is finally really good. He's not top tier, but he's really good. Reptile, he's still a struggle character. He really is. He gets buffs almost every patch, and just nothing is just. It's almost like they're afraid to buff him too much because they know with the invisibility stuff he's going to be broke. I don't know. Balance wise, it's pretty balanced. Some of the top tiers are really busted, a little. They are playing a different game, but for the most part, it's pretty balanced. And the same thing happened with MK11, right? Fujin was running shit as soon as he came out and people found out how good he was. Before that, it was Jackie, Cabal, Cetrion. Those three were running amok. You've seen them constantly in tournaments. I know there's never going to be such thing as a perfectly balanced game, but one good patch just to mix things up would really just make this game so much more enjoyable, I feel like. As far as the future of Mortal Kombat, I think the future is going to be great. Mortal Kombat always comes back with a vengeance. Always, they always release a solid game, right? A playable game, a decent game that you can sink a ton of time into. They've never once made, except for like Special Forces and Sub-Zero Mythologies, they have never made a completely trash, unfun, unplayable game. I know a lot of you crybaby, overdramatic, people out there are going to disagree, but they have never made a game that's just straight trash. I'll admit, I did not like MK11's gameplay. I really didn't, but I still played the shit out of that game. So my hopes are pretty high for the franchise. I know Mortal Kombat was a little bit of a low. Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat 1 were two, kind of lows. but they were not that bad. Not bad enough for me to think that this franchise is dead. Story wise, I really think they need to do a huge overhaul. Gameplay, so Mortal Kombat isn't a legacy game, right? Every game, they have new moves, new inputs to do those moves, new strings, stuff like that, new combos. And they always have something different. Mortal Kombat 9, um, they brought the meter, right? And then Mortal Kombat X, they added the run. Mortal Kombat 11, they had perfect block, or what is it called? Flawless blocking and crushing blows. And Mortal Kombat 1 added cameos and up blocking. So the next Mortal Kombat game is not going to have cameos. I promise you it's not going to have cameos for the combination of all the people that didn't like it, and every Mortal Kombat game is different. I will be making a video on what I think they need to be keep in the game going forward, but Mortal Kombat's future, I think, is still bright. I think Ed Boon and them know they have to reset and do something different. I do think we're going to be getting Injustice, because I think after Mortal Kombat 11 and then Mortal Kombat 1, two games that weren't, globally loved like Mortal Kombat 9 and Mortal Kombat X. Fans loved those games. I mean, there are still people on Twitter, complaining about balancing issues and stuff like that. But it's not like now, where the story is pretty globally hated. There's some things good about it, but there's a lot bad about it. I think they know they have to do something pretty drastic, so I think they're going to do Injustice 3, or whatever they're going to call it. To just give Mortal Kombat a little rest. I believe that they're going to be in the, writing room, or whatever you want to call it, coming up with, what the next Mortal Kombat's going to be. I will be making Injustice content. Not really lore-wise, because I don't know much about DC as I do Mortal Kombat. But I will be making, guides and stuff like that. I do think it's going to be Injustice next, and then we'll get a Mortal Kombat. In my personal opinion, I think they should remake MK9 with a new, fresh coat of paint, right? Like, new graphics. Make it look like Mortal Kombat 1 or something like that. Just really, really nice graphics. Maybe a fresh balance patch. Keep it the same. Add maybe brutalities or something. Because then that gives them... Because a lot of people are going to buy up Mortal Kombat 9, right? Everybody loved that game. It sold really well. It'll probably sell even better now, because it's at this point, Mortal Kombat 9 is like a mythological fighter. It's like one of those, like, you had to be there to know. And so a lot of the younger kids and stuff like that, they're going to jump on it because they're going to be like, okay, I want to see what all that hubbub was. Like, is Mortal Kombat 9 really that great? And then that'll give NRS a more chance to flush out a new Mortal Kombat game, you know what I mean? I doubt that'll happen. That's wishful thinking, but I think Injustice is coming next. I will actually be shocked if it's Mortal Kombat again. I do believe that we're probably going to get an announcement sometime this year, and it'll come out next year, because WB needs a game out pretty soon. That does seem soon for a new game to come out, but I think they've been working on Injustice for a little while now. Injustice 3. I really don't think it's going to be Mortal Kombat again. I think they're going to take a break, take a rest, work on something different, and start really hashing out what they need to do to get Mortal Kombat back on track. Now, is Mortal Kombat 1 dead? No. It is only dead if you stop playing it. Like, if you're one of those people that just, there's completely nothing new, I don't want to play it, blah, blah, blah. But most of you guys, I know for a fact, only play one character, maybe two. If you really love Mortal Kombat, if you like Mortal Kombat 1, as much as I know the announcement well, not an official announcement, but the definitive edition coming out, you're thinking, oh, this game's support is over. Why am I even playing it? There's still a lot of tournaments going on. There's going to be tournaments going on for this game all the way until the next game comes out. There's stuff to do. Combat League, people, ton of people are still going to play this game. Make it a goal to learn a new character, to try to get to Elder God with a new character, learn a new cameo with your main character. Join some tournaments. Even if you feel like you're not that good, just run some casual tournaments on PlayStation 5. They have casual tournaments on the PS5 or whatever that you can enter for free and just, try to see if you can get better. This game is only dead if you stop playing it. I see a lot of, negativity and stuff like that. Just, it's a dead game. It's a dead game. Blah, blah, blah. It is not a dead game. Don't let people, influence you into being negative. If you like this game, if you want to keep playing this game, play it. I guarantee you, if you're getting bored, it's because you're playing the same character over and over. Try a new character. If there's some character that you're like, oh man, he has really cool combos, or he has a really cool brutalities, I kind of want to learn it, that character, go learn it. Enter tournaments. Be part of the community. Run some King of the Hills, casual King of the Hills. You can even put, hey, I'm not that good, so can I get other people my skill level, just have fun. You can keep this game alive, just like everybody else is, like Mr. Aquaman, Destroyer, Tweety, people who are making content, people who are running tournaments. Mortal Kombat doesn't die unless the fans let it die. If you like this game, stop letting other people dictate what you do and get you down like, oh, this game's dead, there's no point in playing it. Bullshit. There's probably hidden talent out there that if you really put your mind to it, you can probably be the next Sonic Fox, You come in, start wrecking in tournaments, make a name for yourself. Learn a new character. Even if you don't even have to learn a top tier, learn a character that you think is cool, that looks fun, that has cool stuff that you want to learn. And I guarantee you the game will feel more refreshing. Now, it being announced that, the definitive edition come out, there's probably no more DLC and stuff like that. It sucks. It really does. But at the same time, if you like this game like I do, keep playing it. If you're getting bored, try a new character. Learn a new character. Take him into casual modes. Get a friend. Go make some Facebook posts in Mortal Kombat groups or Discord or whatever and get people to practice with where you don't have to take it too seriously until you get good with that character. Or if you want to keep playing that character, like, oh, I'm a diehard Johnny Cage fan. Learn new cameo. Cameos alone can refreshen your gaming experience. If you hate cameos, if you hate this game, then whatever, you can keep saying it's dead, blah blah blah. Go play something else, whatever. Go back to Mortal Kombat 11, go back to Mortal Kombat X, whatever. But if you still like this game, if you like the gameplay, if you just keep playing it. Enter tournaments, host your own tournaments, learn a new character, do something, make character guides like I'm doing. We can make Mortal Kombat scene big. We can make it more popular. We can keep it alive. We can show WB, hey, look, we love Mortal Kombat. We know that this game was kind of rocky, but we're here to support it, because then they're going to want to put more support, more funds into Mortal Kombat and make Mortal Kombat even better. Make it last even longer. By us showing support. Us giving up on a game that's not even 2 years old is going to tell them, money talks. They're going to be like, oh, everybody stopped playing, so we're not going to ever support a game past 2 years. No. We have to grow the scene. You know what I mean? But anyway, try not to be too down, too negative. Play a new game until, the next Injustice or Mortal Kombat announcement. Keep playing this game. Learn something new. Play an older Mortal Kombat game. Make content off that. Do something. If you love Mortal Kombat, do something with Mortal Kombat. Anyway, it's been my thoughts on the end of MK1's life cycle. I think there's still a possibility that we get one last patch. Maybe, hopefully, we'll see. I think it'll be after Combo Breaker, because I think after Combo Breaker, there's nothing for like a month. So then players will have a whole month to get used to, a big patch or whatever. But anyway, yeah, keep Mortal Kombat alive. Do not pray for its downfall just because you don't like this one particular game. We all love Mortal Kombat. We all should support it. If you love the game, keep playing it. It is not dead, I promise you. I find Combat League matches so fast and easy. There's always tournaments running every week. There's stuff you can do on this game. I promise you. Anyway, my final thoughts. It sucks that it's over. I think it was right on the cusp of being, gameplay-wise, one of the best, if not the best, Mortal Kombat games. Story-wise, it needs a lot of work. And I still think the future is bright. I think they'll realize their mistakes. I mean, look at Mortal Kombat Armageddon. I know a lot of people remember it fondly, but if you were there at release like I was, you will know how completely busted that game was. How kind of the conquest mode was fun, but the actual combat was A lot of the characters shared the same moves. The creative fatalities system kind of sucked, and then they made Mortal Kombat vs. DC, which was a huge disaster and wasn't a very good game. And they were like, hey, we had 2 games back-to-back that weren't the greatest. Let's knock it out of the park with Mortal Kombat 9. And they did that. And they gave us Mortal Kombat 9 and Mortal Kombat X, 2 of the greatest fighting games ever made. So have faith. I know it's hard right now. But have faith that they're going to come back strong and we're going to get another great, truly great Mortal Kombat game again. If we have to go through Injustice before the next Mortal Kombat, so be it. We'll do that. But, yeah, have hope for the future. Anyway, you guys, this has been kind of a long video, but I wanted to go over my thoughts since this is probably, the last update of MK1 that we're going to get. But yeah, I still think the future's high. Keep your guys' heads up. If you like the game, keep playing it, like I said. We'll have more Mortal Kombat soon. I'm sure they're going to be working hard to give us a really good game. But yeah, I just wanted to, rant a little bit, go over my final thoughts for Mortal Kombat 1. Gameplay, I liked it. Story, meh, it's pretty. Story's not great. That's the nicest way I can put it. But yeah, anyway, I'll be making another announcement. So they just announced a new Gears of War game, right? And a couple months back, I announced that I love Gears of War also, and I'll be making Gears of War content. I will be doing that. I'm still going to be playing Mortal Kombat, still going to be making Mortal Kombat content, but I'll also be doing Gears of War until the new Gears of War Reloaded comes out. Then it's going to be more Gears content. But yeah, just a little update. And anyway, I'll see you guys on the next one. Remember, keep your head up. Mortal Kombat's not dead. Try not to be so down about it. I'll see you guys all next time.